Hi, my name's Eve Bell-Iyer and I am a local artist here in the Bay of Plenty, and this is my father, Ramakrishna Swaminathan, also known as Kumar. I predominantly work with oil paints. I get into a bit of portraiture and also look at my local surroundings and just get a bit of inspiration from the ocean that's all around us and the people. Well, I actually saw my story as being a little bit boring. I was born in Katikati, so straight away I thought, how did our family get here? And I thought of Dad. He's the one that's come all the way over from India, and his story is so diverse and so rich, and there's so much depth to it that I thought, why not share his story rather than mine? Talking to Dad and asking about his waka and how his journey was getting here, he talked about God being quite a strong part, or the gods being quite a strong part within it. And so that's why when designing it, I wanted to have the three main gods, because there's like there's millions of gods in Hindu,
33 million.
in the Hindu culture. So I looked at initially Brahma, the creator, Lord Vishnu, who's the preserver, and Lord Shiva, who's the destroyer. So I wanted to incorporate that into my hui. And then he also talked about how he just met so many people along the way in his journey, and almost how the universe and how everyone's together, connected, within the universe. And then also he also talked about our first teachers and the first gods almost to us are his parents. And so again, I wanted to bring that into it. And then when you physically talk about his waka, he cycled on a bicycle pretty much the whole way with one flat tyre?
Yeah.
One flat tyre? Cool.
20,000 k's through Southeast Asia and Australia to here. Basically, we were headed to South America from here. It all started with a trip to Moscow Olympics in 1980. From Madras to Moscow, that's what it was designed to be, but it ended up a global social adventure. And it actually began with me finishing school, and I was actually training to be a draftsman in cartography, even while I was from the fifth form on, and so by the time I left, I was ready to take on serious work, and so one of the significant work I'd done was tourist atlas, pocket atlas of India. So I had to compile all the material and put it together, and so it was really good. It was for a speedometer company, and they wanted it as a souvenir. So it actually got me into the projects from start to finish, and it really made me realize what I was doing here when I should really be in all those places. Gave up my cartography job and went to the local youth services for guidance, and they were really keen, because I came up with an idea of cycling from Madras to Moscow through Pakistan and Iran and Afghanistan, and that was going to involve quite a cultural trip for me, and they agreed with it, and they gave me a grant of 6,000 rupees. In those days, 6,000 rupees was quite a bit, and this is 1979 I'm talking about. But Pakistan and Iran wouldn't give me visa to cycle through. We thought, okay, the only way to do it is to convince the shipping corporation chairperson, who's sitting in Bombay, that we are actually going to do what we're doing. So we cycled from Madras to Bombay with a great send-off from the local Minister of Education and everything, and the TV and the newspaper and everything. And en route we had all the support all the way, we never had to worry about a place to sleep or anything to eat. Yeah, it all changed overnight because there's no way they were gonna put me off by saying no, we can't have a passage. So I thought really seriously about it and said, well, there is one way out. I can actually turn this whole thing into a global social adventure and go around the east and forget about the west totally. We ended up getting a passage from Madras to Penang. It meant that we could actually leave India without having to cycle through Burma and Thailand around the hard way. Yeah. So that's that basically set things rolling till 2 years down the track. Yeah, I met Carol.
And then you both used to cook on the ships to pay for your...
Yeah, and everywhere I went, I actually used to invite people to join and see the world on pedal park. Yeah.
I started off working with the Indian flag colours, so there's a little bit of saffron up here, and then we've got here the cartwheel with the navy blue, bit of white, and then I tried to incorporate a bit of green. And then, as I talked about earlier, we've got the three different gods here. So we've got Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. And then I wanted to incorporate a bit of the ocean and from Dad's travels and all the different oceans he crossed to make it here to New Zealand. And then down here I've got my grandparents. And then,
if I might intercede with this cartwheel, that's actually the wheel of Ashoka, the wheel of Dharma.
Yep.
On the Indian flag.
Yep. And so why I felt the need to also incorporate it is because of Dad's journey here on the bicycle. And then on the reverse side, looking into the future of how I see Tauranga Moana, I just wanted to bring together different cultures and to nurture the new growth pretty much, and how we all come from the same thing. And I wanted to keep it quite simple because I see the future as being quite simple. It should be quite straightforward, and obviously there's so much history in the past and a lot more depth there.